Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to look at iOS 14.4 version. I'm going to show you is iOS gooder than Android or is it worse? In here I have my iPhone shared screen with Zoom. I think that iOS is pretty flat because if you look at the icons straight from the iPhone, it will look like it's very flat and not like Android. It has widgets that's not really like enabled. You have to make it yourself in iOS 14. And the App Store is so in here I can just type something like Google. See, you got the answers already, and if you go on Play Store, they will only consume that it's from the Android only, and iPhones, iOS get Android apps plus iOS apps. And if I look on Apple, so Apple made their own application, Apple TV, iTunes Store, and a couple more apps like Tips, Translate, Apple Store, and Reminders. And these apps work on iOS except for Android, but the Android is not the same. The Android can't use them. The Android only use separate, but in iOS, there are several Android apps that are available like Google, Google and Google Chrome, YouTube, Google Drive, Google Maps, and plus the iPhone screen isn't really so bad. And from here, I really like the app library that you can just swipe from it. Instead of Android, you have to like pull from the down to up and cover the settings like that. But in iOS, you can just use this as a control and this as an app library. So that's really a good feature. Now I'm going to talk about the disadvantages. First, if you want to change the background, you have to open it from the settings app to change it whenever you want. And your iOS can't support maybe other Android apps that are only available for Android. And sometimes iPhone has little storage or maybe bigger storage, so this will not be a big problem. But sometimes there are pre-installed apps that people aren't really using today. So if I rate iOS to Android from 1 to 10, I would choose 9 because the advantages were so good and the disadvantages were a little minor, but maybe there's a few tricks that need to be updated. But just to notify that Apple's 14.4 update will recover you from any vulnerabilities from hacker that are found. So update right now if your device is supported or maybe running a trusted internet security or antivirus. Okay, for our next conversation, we're going to compare with Android. So here I have my Android VM from last time. It's Android 9.0, that is Android Pie, and it's a little bit sluggish, but I guess this is only way because I have this virtual machine with 8 gigabytes of RAM and my computer is 8 gigabytes of RAM, so I think that's the RAM that I chose because I didn't want my computer to be sluggish as well. So it takes a little long to boot. So I'm back, and thankfully yesterday it was okay, but already I think there's a little problem, and finally I can show you the comparison again. So as always, it will always detect as tablet, and it always has the boot screen of tablet starting. So it shouldn't take a while, and every time I log in it suddenly goes black and then okay. But not every app can support, so I'm going to give the really honest review of Android 9 because this is the all I have. So now we're in Android. There is some advantages and disadvantages. The advantages is that Android apps were many and can be used on Android OS, like Gmail and Chrome. I don't feel running an Android app on the iOS wouldn't really good. So it's really easy configuration. All I need to do is press on the screen and I get the option for home settings, widgets, and wallpapers. Instead of iOS, I have to do it in the settings app manually, and it's a little waste of time. And the widgets are many. It's not just 1, 2, 3, but many. According to the apps you downloaded, about the personalization, you can get many apps for shortcut apps, gallery, Gmail, and all other stuff. For like the Google app and Gmail. So in here I'm using my account, my default Google account. So if I want a digital clock, I can just put there. Instead of iOS, I have to use it in different direction, and it's not really aesthetic, by the way. But I'm not saying that iOS is more ugly, no, because iOS have that personalization settings more than Android, but there's also more for Android. So in here I can just change my wallpapers, and also I can access the Play Store. Instead of iOS, I have to depend on the App Store that was pre-installed. So in the Google Play, there's lots of games, apps, movie, and books that you can download. But sometimes the Android system doesn't really use much memory. So I can just download my Android apps. For example, let me just download something, but I'm not going to show you that I'm downloading because when I download apps in here, it will take a long time or even doesn't work. So that's the advantage, and the disadvantage is that Android has many types of phones, and I don't think that you will be needing this, I don't think you will be thinking of this worse, but to me it's worse because I have to pick one of many phones in the world, including Samsung, Google, and then HTC, Motorola, Nokia, and then many other like LG and others make Android apps that are really, really hard to choose. Android OS is made by many smartphone companies, so I have to choose one of them, and that's really hard, especially for business. And they are already getting pretty small updates. Like I just have my Xperia C Dual, and since 2017 I don't get any support. Plus the What's New app is pre-installed and I can't even uninstall it. And I'm running an Android 6 Marshmallow and it's not the safest option. So that's why I'm not really using that. So instead, in virtual machines it's really good, but I still rather use iOS. And then the upper screen needs to be more aesthetic. That's the real note. Because in iOS you can just get the wallpaper behind, like the behind of it is the background, and the upper bit there's the clock, and then there's the notification center, and it's really aesthetic, especially notifications like that. I'm using the live wallpaper and it's really good. I can just watch the live wallpaper if I'm not busy, or I can just watch them. So for now, I would give the Android from 1 to 10, I would give it to 8. But if there are similarities like more battery, thinner phones, and not a lot of phones should be choosing, I would recommend it to 9, but for now I'm going to recommend it for 8. And thank you for watching, like and subscribe, and see you on my next video.